Okay, thank you all for joining. I know as you got the message, this is being both audio and video recorded so that it can be played back later for different people who would like to sign in and hear the session. My name is Dan Taffel. I'm Vice President of Business Development and Marketing for Hornbeam Insurance. This will be the first of several series regarding InsureTechs and how they're changing the landscape of the warranty market. We're going to be looking at it over the next several weeks, interviews with several different people, leaders in the InsureTech business from different perspectives, technology provider, integrator, service provider. But our first guest is Matan Slagter, who is with Armadillo. And Matan, I'll hand it to you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background.
Sure. Matan Slagter, born and raised in the insurance industry, an actuary. I started as an actuary and essentially worked across all consumer-facing lines of insurance business. And about 6 months ago, launched a new venture called Armadillo. We are a tech-enabled home warranty business. And essentially what we do is offer a subscription-based home protection plan for homeowners across the country.
Great, Matan, thank you. Just also another note, we do have a chat room. So if you have a question, feel free to leave it in the chat room. And also we will leave ample time at the very end of our discussion for other questions.
Dan, you promised me no questions. What is it?
I'm going to throw some wild ones at you. Now, Matan, can you tell us a little bit about Armadillo?
Yeah. So Armadillo is an InsureTech. We operate we see ourselves as an InsureTech. We operate in the intersection of InsureTech and PropTech because home warranty has a lot to do with the real estate space. Like I said before, we sell subscription-based plans to homeowners that provide protection for major systems and appliances like the HVAC system, plumbing, electric, and then all the appliances in the home. We're building something pretty interesting. We're building a company that's truly an InsureTech in that we combine our know-how in insurance, so really in the service contract industry and the warranty industry, with technology. So on one side of it, we've taken the home warranty product and we've redesigned it. We went from 20-page contract to a 3-page contract, which is much simpler for a consumer to understand. It's not only much simpler, but it's also much more consumer-centric in what we deliver to consumers and what we cover. And the other part of it is technology. We wrapped it up with technology so that consumers, whether they prefer to talk to a person on a call center or do everything digitally, like filing a claim, tracking a claim, they could pursue either path with Armadillo. You're on mute, Dan.
I'm fascinated how you got the contract down, customer service agreement down to 3 pages. Apple would be very proud of you. That's all.
It's all the fact that we were able to partner with you guys. Hornbeam had the flexibility to work with us, and we've worked on that contract together. As an InsureTech, it's not easy to get a good carrier partner, not just to underwrite your program, but to work with you to really innovate it from the inside out. And I know I see Julie here. We've done a lot of work together on that. So it's all you guys.
Well, thanks for the shameless plug. But just to give you a little history, Matan and I actually worked together back at AIG. Matan was in charge of market disruption from an innovation standpoint. Is that correct, Matan?
That's right.
And I ran our international clients. So Matan was absolutely critically involved in a lot of our product development for our international clients, things that were very innovative. And so we go back a little bit. We're both in different roles now and in different industries, but we're excited to, do the interview today. I'd like to kind of get, Matan, your definition of an InsureTech. How would you define that?
Oh my God, that question. It's a buzzword. A lot of individuals use it in interesting ways. Like, I have an InsureTech platform. What does that mean? What is an InsureTech platform? What does it do? Just like saying I have an insurance platform. In my mind, InsureTech is a movement. You have all kinds of companies that operate in the intersection and trying to carve out a part of the insurance value chain using technology, the most modern technology that exists. You have the Hippos and Lemonades of the world that are building full stack carriers, and they're building departments just like an insurance carrier would have. And they may not have started that way, but slowly they're building that full stack. You have companies that offer data services to homeowners insurance companies, like satellite imagery and translating that to data, and they get paid per ping. And you have companies that are really good at acquiring users digitally and then getting them matched up with one of many carriers, those insurance aggregators. We have all kinds of companies who operate in the InsureTech space. There's not really one definition. It's a broad category. It's a movement of a lot of organizations.
How do you think that they're really changing the landscape of the warranty market? And maybe, what are your top 3 areas that you think that kind of where you've seen changes occur?
When InsureTech started, it was very focused around things like homeowners and auto insurance. That's slowly made its way to other parts of the insurance industry. And warranty was disproportionately underrepresented. So if you had 1,000 InsureTechs, small percentage of those InsureTechs were looking at the warranty space. That's just the reality. There used to be, there was a company called, and they still exist, Trove, and there was a lot of buzz around them. They were just about the same time that Lemonade and Hippo came live. And I had this on-demand concept. And you'll remember this, and some of the folks here from Hornbeam will remember this, because some of our biggest clients back then at AIG asked us, "Oh, what about Trove? Can you do the same thing that Trove does?" And I remember talking about it internally and saying, we don't know if Trove is going to be around and doing the same thing 3 years from now, but there was a lot of buzz around that concept. But there are some really interesting players in the warranty space. You have Extend, you have Mulberry, you have Clyde. They embed themselves right in the consumer purchase path. So you can't see it because my screen is blurred. Dan made me blur my screen. But there is a Peloton somewhere back there. So you buy a Peloton, and during the consumer path at the end, you want to get a warranty, an extended warranty on your Peloton. That makes a lot of sense, sort of like travel insurance. So Extend, Clyde, Mulberry, they do that very well. And it's great because they build these relationships, they technologically integrate with Peloton's platform, whatever platform Peloton is using to sell their bicycle. And it's a little bit stickier. And I think that's one way in which the warranty industry is being impacted. Another way is us in the home warranty space, grossly underpenetrated area. Only 3% of households have home warranty. In some parts of the country, home warranty is very, very much known, like Texas, Arizona, California, and other parts like the New England area here in New York, where I live. Many people don't know what home warranty is, and we're trying to expand our distribution and innovate distribution in a way that allows us to reach the rest of the market that doesn't yet know what home warranty is. So hopefully we'll be able to change the warranty market in that way. Are
InsureTechs competing primarily with retailers? Is that where the efficiencies are being built?
I wouldn't. InsureTech again is really broad. So if we're sticking to warranty, it's not a competition with retailers. It's a partnership. with retailers in that specific space. I do think InsureTechs are able to expand the market greatly. I also think that they're going to, or already are, take market share from existing incumbents, and that proportion, that part of the circle is going to get larger and larger. The more credibility some of them are already building or going to build. Yeah, I think they're going to impact the space. But yeah, retailers specifically depends on what part of InsureTech we're talking about.
Right. So kind of as a segue on that, in the home warranty market, kind of looking directly at that, do you see this as attracting more users, consumers, or displacing, the 800-pound gorilla who controls a lot of the home warranty market?
Yeah, no, we think we're going to get some of both. We have a great product. The home warranty space, it was born in the real estate space, and we're certainly going to put our product out there, and we think a lot of real estate agents are going to love it. So we'll certainly, quote unquote, steal or get some market share from existing players. But we're also developing some new channels. Some of them are completely new, and we're not going to talk about them here. Some of them are, some other home warranty companies are looking at, like insurance, cross-selling on top of homeowners insurance, and working with insurance agents. So I think we're going to definitely expand the market through some of our distribution efforts.
Okay. With that being said, like, do you see, more on a broader scope, do you see InsureTechs really strengthening the hand of manufacturers? You see, as you mentioned, your Peloton behind there. It seems like a lot of manufacturers are beginning to get into the warranty business, and it's being made easier, from my perspective, by different InsureTechs that are able to onboard opportunities.
Totally. I think a lot of manufacturers, especially e-tailers, or people who operate online, which most, if not all of them, are by now. It's a plugin. You work with a company, some of those new companies we mentioned before, and you're able to add warranty pretty seamlessly. It's not that hard to do. So I think it does open the door for a lot of manufacturers who probably did it before, but it was, some of them did not, maybe some of the smaller ones. Totally, yeah. That's not the space we're in, but that happening already. Absolutely.
Do you see our InsureTechs? How do they interact with third-party administrators in the industry?
Yeah, so great question. As an InsureTech, and we're experiencing this firsthand right now. We raised some money. We have a limited amount of capital and a run rate. So we have to make decisions as to how much can we do ourselves versus how much do we need to work with other partners on, so that we can get out there and start selling product and start showing traction. And every InsureTech, depending on what they do exactly, has different considerations that they think about when they go through that thought process. Some InsureTechs will not want to manage claims initially. Some InsureTechs will not want to write their own capacity initially, because it takes a lot to become an insurance carrier. So most InsureTechs will work with carriers and get paper from carriers. Most InsureTechs, or a lot of InsureTechs, start testing the product, will even work with TPAs. And actually, we have a great partner, a great TPA partner that's helping us build and access a network of over 10,000 service providers across the country. And that allowed us, along with what we're doing with you guys, to get to market faster than we would have otherwise, and more broadly too. So yeah, I think a lot of InsureTechs work with different types of partners. Third TPAs, insurance carriers, in home warranty service providers, the actual techs. Some of them work directly with them. Some of them use a TPA. It depends where you operate and what stage of your capital raise and how much cash you have in the bank to actually not dilute your focus from getting to market. Yeah.
I think we have a question in the chat room. It says, Matan, you indicated that you're a tech-enabled home warranty company, i.e. InsureTech. Most home warranty providers have online customer service and sales capabilities, but aren't classified as InsureTechs. Why?
We just had a distribution prospect come to us, and they're thinking about home warranty. Can't mention their name, but they're thinking about home warranty. And this is a perfect example. And they're in talks with the largest home warranty player in the industry. I'm not going to mention any name, I'll just say the largest home warranty player in the industry, 50% market share, all right? And they decided that it's probably not the right time to partner with them. And by the way, that home warranty provider has a digital portal. You can buy the product online, and you could probably file claims online. They decided not to partner with them because the API capabilities, the integration was just not there. So it's easy to, on the surface, build out some forms online. That's not a hard thing to do, but to build everything end to end from the beginning without any legacy systems in a way that allows you to create efficiency across every part of your value chain. That's really hard to do for some of the big players. And it's also a mindset. It's also red tape and culture. It's the ability to move fast and nimbly. What we just did, the service contract, the T&Cs that we've created here, for one of the big players to do that, that's a lot of internal sales that have to happen to convince all the right functions internally to do something like that. So there's also that. There's the ability to be nimble. But yeah.
Are you seeing I want to get, we have another question, but are you seeing kind of the big insurers driving some of the change, or is it the InsureTechs are driving the change?
I come from a big insurance company. We come from the same big insurance company, AIG, and I was in an innovation role there. And, my mandate was to help the P&L owners and the product lines, homeowners insurance, auto insurance, warranty, travel insurance, help them identify new startups and work with them, partner to do new things. So like me, every other or most other insurance companies have innovation functions. A lot of them have venture capital funds to make investments into startups. So, some companies are stronger in their belief that they can build it themselves, and they'll try and incubate internally with varying levels of success. Usually not so much success, a lot of effort, and things die at some point because there isn't the right leadership support for it or executive support for it. Other insurance companies say, you know what, we're going to let some of those nimble startups do stuff. We're going to invest in them or partner with them and learn. That works pretty well. That's a pretty good model. But a lot of InsureTechs, where you have no red tape, you have zero red tape, and you're coming in there and you're getting capital, because there's a lot of capital out there, which is part of what InsureTech is. There's capital to fuel all of that activity, therefore that attracts entrepreneurs. A lot of InsureTechs are driving change because they do things without being constrained within where they are. So I do think a lot of change is coming from both areas, but InsureTechs, by far, given how small they are driving disproportionately a large amount of that change.
Okay, Kiram, Rafiq put a question in the chat room. Kiram, why don't you unmute and ask your question? Feel free to join.
Thank you, Dan. My question is, Matan, nice to meet you again.
Rafiq, good to see you, man.
Yes, thank you. Likewise. From a customer or consumer perspective, does it matter if we call it a subscription or a monthly premium? And what's the difference on the back end?
Yeah. I think there's a few elements to that. There's what consumers are used to hearing now in the market, what subscription means to them versus signing up for an annual contract, and what commitment there is. There's also the distribution channel you're going through. When the seller of a home buys a product for a full year for the buyer of a home, that's a different scenario than when we're going direct to consumer and we ask them to commit to 1 month at a time. Yes, we built our system in a very flexible way, and our service contract in a very flexible way to be able to handle both scenarios. There are some changes, there are some differences on the back end in the way we want to handle that. But it's the same system, essentially 2 different paths, and some differences between them. It's not 2 very different systems in order to handle those 2 different constructs.
Matan, how would you say the InsureTechs, and what's your experience in changing the customer service experience altogether?
changing the customer service experience.
Yeah, I mean, how are they changing it? Is it, maybe it kind of segues from Kevin's question earlier.
Yeah. Generally speaking, InsureTechs, not just in home warranty, but in general, are pushing the envelope. On average, most consumer-facing InsureTechs create pretty awesome consumer experiences. Like, Hippo, Next, just so many companies out there. They're doing an amazing job, and that's not to say that carriers are not also transforming and changing their systems to do very similar things. But for the most part, you see that driven, a lot of the hype, and you actually buy a policy, which is what we used to do at AIG. I used to go, I bought a Hippo was not in town yet. Lemonade was in town. We had a Lemonade renters insurance. That was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool experience. Remember buying Metro Mile at one point. That was okay. Yeah, they're driving they have some amazing, user-centric design thinking priorities, and that's how they decide how they're going to build things from scratch. And you can feel that, you can see that. Not all InsureTechs are in the business of servicing consumers directly. So it depends on who we're talking about. But yeah, a lot of them are doing an amazing job. And we hope to be a part of that category. We want Armadillo to be known as the absolute best home warranty product out there, the highest quality. We really want to offset some of the bad rap that the industry has. We believe that the current service contract just doesn't deliver, with a lot of unhappy consumers, and that's just not okay. So that's where we want to be as well.
Right. So the home warranty market has typically been skewed to older users in the marketplace. How is that affecting the customer service experience? Or is a home warranty market, are the consumers getting younger because of the better experience?
Without talking about our segmentation strategy, we do think our product caters to a different type of homeowner, to a new generation of homeowners. And we think that proportion of homeowners is just getting larger very quickly, especially as a result of COVID. But that said, our product, we think a lot of people across all generations are going to love it. So we're building something that's just a really good quality, home ownership, home warranty product.
We heard that at, I don't know how many people here attended the Warranty Chain Management Conference, but we heard from Eric Arnhem that the overall warranty market has been booming since, expanding quickly since COVID, or, obviously before COVID as well. But do you think the home warranty market, do you have any data that you're seeing, has any kind of data to show that how much it's grown by in the last 2 years?
I don't have it offhand, but it is I think it's the fastest growing segment of the warranty industry. We have some reports we've looked at. Very fast growing segment, very low penetration, very high upside for any company. There's a lot of room to compete in this space. Okay. I don't have any specific figures in front of me.
Sure. I think we have a question from Scott Sherrod. And Scott Sherrod, the reason I'm in this weird TPA type or background is it's just a little different. You don't want to see my room in back. But Scott, unmute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, I think actually Jesse Wilson already answered it. He said that in the affirmative. It's age-based. So okay. I'm going with that. He's a professional. No, I think my question is really for you, Matan. I mean, you've been at this kind of a few weeks, just launched. Anything different than what you expected? Kind of what's the reception been? What's new? Or is this just everything going as you anticipated?
A great question, Scott. So surprising thing that happened We just launched. We launched September 3rd. So less than 2 weeks ago, we're fresh. We're going to learn a lot, but within 24 hours of launching, I kid you not, 24 hours of launching, we get a phone call to our customer service call center. Now we didn't expect any phone calls to our call center because we don't have clients yet. And even the ones that we do have, there's a waiting period on the product, right? So there's maybe a few questions here, but we didn't expect any. Anyway, I had all calls forwarded to me directly in case someone calls. So I see this name on my phone. I'm with my 2 little kids. I tell my wife, Victoria, can you please watch them for a second? I'm going to call this number back. I call back. And the other person on the line is one of our biggest competitors, the CFO of one of our biggest competitors. Now, I'm not going to say their name, starts with an S, ends with an R. All right, you can figure out who they are. Calling, trying to find out what our channel strategy is and all of that stuff. So that was probably the most, I didn't expect that so quickly people are going to be on us in the way that they have been. We also got some good publicity through different channels. We got lucky in that way, I guess. And we got some great outbound leads for insurance agencies and real estate agents who are interested in working with us. Some areas we weren't available in yet. We're only in 20 states right now, but we will be in those areas very, very shortly. So there was some of that. I also, I didn't anticipate personally how much work it was going to take the week of launch. I kind of knew it was going to be crazy, but it was insane. No sleep. And then the next week was us really working through bugs or anything that we identified. So we're just getting better now rapidly as we see users coming into our website. There are some amazing tools where you can actually see how users interact with your website. So you can very quickly see, hey, you know, people are clicking on this button much more often than they're clicking on that button. Or when people get to this part of my website, they leave. So we're every day, we do a review of every single user that's come to our website, and we've been fixing things very quickly. So you're just going to see things get smoother and smoother and smoother. So I didn't realize it was going to be like that, but that's pretty cool. A lot of other learnings have come to mind. I have to think through those, but hopefully that gives you a little bit.
Sure. Jesse Wilson, why don't you unmute and ask your question to Matan? I assume it's to Matan.
Yeah, it is. Thanks, Dan. Hi, Matan. I don't think we've met, but I know a lot of other folks on this. And Dan, I'm an attorney with Frost Brown Todd. We do a lot of work in this space, so pretty familiar with the area. As you know, there are lots of players in the market, and everyone's been trying to crack this code of better customer service. We know the industry's it's got a rough reputation. I guess, obviously not revealing any of your, go-to-market strategies, but are there particular things that you've found that you planned on adjusting or are adjusting to be able to deliver that service that's a balance between, you got to get the service provider to give you priority? Did you have to increase pricing so that they can have a better experience? I mean, just what are your thoughts generally on that? Obviously, without disclosing anything that you guys are doing that's be market competitive.
Jesse, nice to meet you. It's a great question. So you're asking me to spill all of our secret sauce right now. Part one to answering that question is that there's no secret code or one thing that we're doing to create a better customer experience. There's a lot of different things that cut across different parts of our business. And I'll give you a few examples. One we already covered, which is the product itself. It's the consumer buying into a product, and then when they have a claim, getting declined a large proportion of the time. And what we're trying to do is reduce that proportion and increase the education so the consumer has the right expectation as to what they've bought into. That's a big issue philosophically in the home warranty space. And that's a combination of changing the service contract, it's a combination of how we talk about our product and educate consumers. And there is the service contractors, which are independent contractors, and we can't control them. We can control who we work with and who we don't work with, but we can't control their behavior. They're independent contractors. Again, we have a great partner, TPA, that works with us and has built API so we can sort of go directly to dispatch using those APIs. that's going to be a big learning experience for us. And over time, we're going to optimize who we send to whose house based on a few different factors. That's another part of it. Another part of it, quite frankly, and I've had some home warranty experiences of my own. You have a claim or you have a home warranty product, you call the call center, it's absolute hell. It's absolute hell. You can get passed around between call centers, one that's located in the US, another one that's located in another country. No one knows, and this is a problem that cuts beyond just home warranty. There's no memory of what you already talked about, so you have to repeat yourself. There are just a lot of small things like that. And we're going to fix all that. That's all going to be ironed out, because now we have a single system that's going to be very, very good at telling agents who you are in advance, what the issue is, and really become more effective at getting consumers what they need. There's a lot more than that, but we think that if we work on all these things, we're going to get to a much better place than all of our competitors pretty quickly.
Great, thanks. Yeah, I wasn't trying to get you to disclose the secrets, but it's just those. Yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of clients in this space, and it's a struggle, and I know it's a struggle. So it'll be great to see if someone can help turn that ship.
Matan, sorry, my timer. Hey, Matan, do you have, I think we have a question from Sabina. Sabina, if you want to unmute yourself and ask the question.
So actually it's Michelle, I'm so sorry. I'm coming through as my daughter for whatever reason.
Okay, Michelle.
It really relates back to the same question that Jesse just asked, which was around my experience has been that the customer experience with home warranty companies, really the crux of it sits within that contractor engagement. And that it's either an issue of being denied, which is obviously a product factor, but then also the experience with that contractor, the quality of work, et cetera, that drives their experience really with the home warranty company. And it was just a question of how are you contemplating and executing that piece of the customer experience with the contractor network at being independent contractors, because that's a sticky widget, but obviously without you giving away the secret to your sauce.
Yeah, another great question. There are a few things, a few levers we're pulling right now, and I'm sure we'll learn much more, and we just have to be nimble and course correct as we go on. One, we allow our consumers to use their own service providers. If they have a plumber they love, they've been using for years, they can just do that. We're not going to force anybody on them. The other part of it, which I alluded to with Jesse's question, is who we choose to send to a consumer's house based on some factors and algorithms that we're using on the back end. So without talking about those algorithms and how we're thinking about optimizing who gets to a person's house, it will be a combination of experience that other consumers have with that same contractor, as well as what's broken and who we believe will be most effectively able to fix that in the first try or second try, or as soon as possible. We'll start there, and then we'll work our way through. If there are more, a lot of complaints that come from that area, more so than any other area, that will be our focus. That's what we're going to focus on fixing.
Matan, we have a few minutes left, but what do you see as the next advancement for AI impact on InsureTechs? I mean, and I'll say specifically, we have a lot of IoT devices that are now in appliances, HVAC, whatever else, that quite frankly could tell you it's broken before even the consumer knows it's broken, or tell you that it needs maintenance before it has more of a catastrophic breakdown. Do you see that coming down the pike?
Yeah, I think AI is like InsureTech is very broad. A lot of stuff is being done with AI, a lot of different things, machine learning, and there are a lot of different applications. Very bullish on using AI in different ways. We're very young, we don't have much data right now, so it will be futile unless we're using a vendor who has some AI service that's already based on other data. But outside of that, it's a little bit early, but we are, more so than blockchain, AI is something that we think that we would be able to use to improve, again, across a lot of different parts of the business, different things. We're already using it a little bit in digital marketing. Because Facebook and Google Ads, and they have some self-learning algorithms. But that's different. Really using AI within our own core business operations. Bullish on that. That's going to come at one point. We don't feel like any of our competitors are advanced in that way, and therefore we didn't have to come out of the gate with that. But we are bullish on it.
Do you see integrating with, the various home devices that are supposed to connect your home together, like the Apple HomePod or the Google Home or even Amazon? I'm sure Honeywell has a product out there like that as well.
Yeah, as that data becomes available on machines, and we're able to predict in advance when something goes wrong, or when something goes wrong, we get data, more deeper data on why it went wrong, and we can send that over to the technician, and therefore the technician knows in advance what part they have to bring in, and so all that is a really real, that's a real use case, and it's something we'll explore at one point down the line.
Okay. I think Julie Messer has a question. You want to unmute?
Sure. So I was just, looking at the future of home warranty. We know that there's a lot of players in the space. It seems like multi-product coverage is the current trend of warranty in general, not necessarily all home warranty. But, Armadillo was started for a purpose. You've got a vision of what Armadillo is going to look like. I was just curious from your perspective what you think the home warranty landscape is going to look like in 3 to 5 years, given technology changes, consumers' expectations. The Ubers of the world has changed how consumers expect to get all kinds of services. So I was just curious to get your feedback on what you think that 3 to 5 year outlook might look like in the home warranty space.
Yeah. A few thoughts. One, I think right now, from a new business perspective, about 20%, maybe 10 to 20% of new business comes through digital marketing directly to homeowners, and the rest from the real estate space, more or less. I wouldn't be surprised if more and more comes from direct distribution methods or other channels that are not real estate. I think we're going to see more and more of that. We at Armadillo will drive a lot of that, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of existing players that follow suit very quickly. Because there's a lot of room to grow in this specific space, it's only 3% penetration. I don't see there being necessarily less people focused on that space in 3 to 5 years. I think it's going to grow. That penetration rate is going to grow greatly. There might be some consolidation. I think there will be consolidation in the space. And then back to what Dan said, if in 3 years, 5 years, we feel more confident that we can pull data specifically from devices and become more effective, and you might see some more of that cool sort of use of deep data to help create a better service experience for consumers. But you never know where we're going to be in 3 to 5 years.
Hey, Matan, we have a little more than 5 minutes left. I don't use it all, but Nick Plight, I'd like to, if you can unmute.
Yeah, hey. Thanks, Dan. Hey, Matan, how you doing? Good to see you, man. Thank you. I was a little late joining, but just trying to piece this together, just to simplify it in my own mind. What is, I guess, your simple, broadest definition of InsureTech?
Oh God, again.
Is that too?
It's a broad, InsureTech is a broad category. I guess the simplest way is to say these are tech startups trying to figure something out in the insurance space, in any line of business or across any part of the value chain. And what I was saying before is that there are a lot of different types of InsureTechs that do different things. You have the hippos and lemonade and the full stack guys and girls, and then you have providers of software solutions. We're trying to bind carriers and large MGAs as their clients, and then you have the aggregators. I think those are the 3 examples I gave, and you probably have a few other types of categories. It's a broad category. So what I was saying is No one has an InsureTech platform. There's no such thing as an InsureTech platform. That doesn't mean anything. What exactly is your platform? And it might be categorized as InsureTech, but it is no, InsureTech platform is a very broad word.
Okay, that
Yeah.
helps, and just makes me feel better that I wasn't missing out on anything specific.
Hey,
Thank you.
Nick, it's a good question because honestly, I don't think you hear the word a lot. You hear about growing InsureTechs and everyone's wanting to talk about being an InsureTech. But, I kind of define it as a company using technology to disrupt the warranty market or whatever market they're in and truly disrupt it. I think Matan talks about the customer service experience, switching the market from home warranty from potentially all real estate based leads to the consumer direct. So there are a lot of different areas where it can change.
I'm laughing at Kevin's comment there at the bottom.
I know. I'm not InsureTech. I'm the old guy. I use black and white to cover up my gray hair. Matan, you're looking a little more InsureTech than me. But I think this wraps up things at about this point. I want to thank you, Matan. Appreciate you joining. I've had nothing but the utmost respect for you, and that, and the types of clients I put you in front of when I was at AIG. I wish you the best of success at Armadillo, and I want everyone to know this is the first part of a multiple series. We're trying to get a perspective of what the InsureTech market is and how it's affecting the warranty market and disrupting the warranty market. So, Matan, thank you for your perspective on that. Thank you for everyone who's joined. And I think that unless, Matan, you want to make a closing statement, that should wrap things up.
I thank you everybody who joined, and thank you, Dan. I really appreciate being here. I appreciate Hornbeam. Another shameless plug. We couldn't have had a better partner in this. And if anybody who's online knows any real estate or insurance agencies that you think would be interested in talking to Armadillo, we'd really appreciate an introduction. We're small, we're meaningless right now, and we're trying to grow. So we would really appreciate any introductions you have. That would be wonderful.
Thank you very much, Matan. Everyone stay tuned to LinkedIn. We'll be making an announcement soon for the next in our series.
Take care.
Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye.